Good evening. A little bit different setup for tonight.
Hi.
Lighting's not the best.
We need to turn the backlight. Turn the house lights on.
Hold
no,
on.
Those are on. There we go.
That's kind of
Does that help a little bit?
I don't know. Sure.
That is. We're gonna see. Make sure you say hello when you hop on. We're in the truck. Hi there. Now we're live on Instagram too.
We have a horrible connection at the RV park.
So now we have a janky setup on our live.
We kept driving and driving and driving until we finally found somewhere that we hope has a good enough signal to hold.
So give us some thumbs up. You're escaping. Okay, so at least Matthew can see us. That's a good start. Yes. Okay, so it's become, first off, make sure, hi Jeff and Jenny. Make sure you say hello when you pop on so that we know that you're here. Oh, we're already getting slow connection notifications. I've gone up to 3 bars of 5G. So we're in a Starlink owner's worst nightmare this week.
So, ironically, the name of the place where we're staying includes spacious skies. You can't even see the sky in this RV park. So, Starlink has to have a clear view of the northern sky in order to have a connection. And
I have nobody on Instagram, which makes me nervous. I wonder if Sandra has come to Facebook. So it makes me wonder if Instagram's even working. It says I'm live. I don't know.
We shall see.
Matthew, check and see if my Instagram. The girls aren't with me for me to So yeah. So we've driven to a high school parking lot to sit and go live.
Looks like a nice high school.
Yeah. So we have trees. Did you say that part? We have trees all over top of us. So much so. Okay, there's Kim Hardy. So I must be, it must be working on Instagram.
Speaking of working.
Yes. Kim Hardy just jumped on Instagram. So give me a thumbs up. Okay, Matthew's checking for me. Yeah, speaking of working, guess what's working?
We're going to give you a minute to guess. But we're super excited.
Yes. We have, drum roll please, we have a working oven. Kevin fixed the oven. We ordered enough Amazon parts. Okay, good. Thank you, Matthew. We ordered enough Amazon parts and finally figured it out. It took us two tries. So we took the stove and the oven all apart once and back together.
The wrong part.
And then all apart again.
Not the wrong part, the wrong size. So they're...
Yeah, I mean, so the wrong part, but...
They are universal in size. So we got the universal thermocouple.
Yeah.
Well, little did we know that universal doesn't mean universal. You need an adapter for our particular setup. So
anyway.
But it is working and the girls are enjoying making cookies. So yes. I think they've made cookies 3 times.
Kevin is a rock star. I know they've used the oven to bake. We haven't cooked any dinner or anything in it, but I wish sometimes that people could be a fly on the wall with us because I'm just the like, am I like the parts manager? I don't know. Like
she's kind of like a sous chef.
Because sometimes my hands are smaller and so they can reach in different places. And so I have to like reach through and then anyway, it would be make for a great reality TV comedy show to watch us do one of these projects. But
we've rebuilt a washing machine.
Yeah.
We've fixed a dryer. We've now fixed RV furnace. And now
we really do not need another appliance
RV
in our home
oven.
to break. Anyway.
All minor things.
All minor things. Minor things where you have to take them all apart and put them back together.
Yeah.
YouTube University for the win.
Just always take pictures and remember where all the screws go.
Kevin makes different piles of his screws. Anyway. So that was a big part of our week last week. But that was in the one day that Kevin didn't have anything going on that we took apart and fixed the oven. So In the same day that we fixed the oven, the convection part of the microwave broke. It's such a comedy show sometimes with us. Yeah. And I think it was just the microwave saying, yo, I'm done.
You don't need me anymore.
I'm done with this part. So
it may have been Casey breaking it on purpose, telling me to fix the oven.
No, but anyway. So we did get that done on Wednesday, which was super exciting. That was a big part of our week. But there were tons of other things. So if you remember, we were in Montreal, Canada. So a few things about Montreal is that Montreal made our 32nd Sin City. Making sure that Chloe's not telling me something's not. Oh, okay. I was making sure something wasn't going awry at the house. So our 32nd Sin City, and so it was super interesting from that standpoint. But also super interesting to be in Canada and be that far up, because the different thing about Quebec than all the other places.
Quebec.
Seriously?
Quebec. Every person I talked to from there did not say.
They say
Quebec. It's Quebec.
So they don't say QU. Oh, well, I didn't. So interesting.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
I picked up on that. I began to hear people say it over and over again.
Quebec.
And I was like,
okay.
Quebec.
So everybody from Quebec speaks French. And yes. I'm telling y'all, it gave me a new appreciation, I think, especially for missionary families that go into, different languages as adults, because it's a whole nother mental level and a whole nother level of taxing to be in another language and reading menus in another language, or even using Google Translate, or just trying to check out at McDonald's. I mean, it's
even when there's ways, like at McDonald's, there's the screen and you can find the way to swap languages. It's not a big deal. It's just an extra step and I would say an inconvenience, but not a big deal. It's interesting, though. It also gives you a greater respect for the majority of the rest of the world, because most everyone else speaks multiple languages.
That was the other thing.
The U.S. is probably the one lagging the furthest behind.
Honestly, yes. It makes me feel like a stupid American in a lot of ways. Because,
don't say that.
Well, because so many of these people, like servers at the restaurants that we went to, they literally, because our anniversary was last week, and so we went out for dinner one night, and literally they swapped from table to table between French and English, just effortlessly. And so it's just a little bit humbling, because I'm like, golly, I'm struggling to, anyway.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother ballgame. But that being said,
this was our 5th Canadian Sin City. And I have to say, the Canadian Sin Cities, the Sin City missionaries that we have come across in all 5 of those cities were incredibly hospitable.
They were.
Incredibly helpful in getting me connected with as many church planners as possible. And it was great. So this week I got to have lunch with the Sin City missionary. He brought a church planner with him that just finished the assessment process, and he is from Syria. We'll be planting the first church in targeting Muslims. And so it was super encouraging to meet him and to hear his story. And I look forward to hearing more as I keep in touch with him.
Yep.
But it was really cool to get that opportunity. So I was glad the Sin City missionary, he texted me at the last minute and said, hey, is it okay if I bring someone with me? I was like, absolutely.
So that was neat. I think when we talked to you last week, we had gone to church. We had a neat connection through some extended family in Georgia that knew one of the church planners in Montreal. And so we had gotten to go to church with them, which was really neat. But then we also got to connect with them on Tuesday night. The girls got to keep their 2 little ones. We got to take them out to dinner, and it was just really cool getting to know them a little bit better, spend some time with them, hear all about kind of their heart there in their area, and just some of the things that they're doing through their ministry. So that was cool. I'm trying to think what else.
I got to meet 3 other planters. I had coffee with one planter, and just got to hear his story. And he's actually planting in the same building as another planter that I met on Thursday, I believe. And so there's 4 churches meeting in one building. So they all meet at different times throughout the day. And that's how difficult, one of the difficulties of church planting is facilities. And Montreal is, the cost of living is very high, similar to
all of the Canadian
Vancouver,
cities, really.
similar to Toronto. Just the real estate prices are so high, getting a place to meet is a big deal.
Oh, our lights just went out.
Ding.
Okay.
So yeah, that was, it was interesting to hear their stories though, and just planting in very different settings. They're reaching different groups of people, but meeting in the same building. And so it was super cool. And planters meeting that day, I was having lunch, so I wasn't able to stay for the meeting, but they had me come down and just meet all the planters and introduce myself, tell them what we did, and just encourage that group a little bit. And so it was fun. There was probably 25 guys there, and all planting different churches there in the greater Montreal area.
Why is your phone on the Bluetooth? I'm sorry. And I don't know what it's doing. I'm worried that it's on. It can't be on a phone call while you're on live. Y'all are probably all laughing at us tonight. I'd be laughing if I were on your side of the phone.
Sorry.
I don't know what's happening, but it was a good.
They'll tell us if something's going.
It was a
crazy,
good week. We were excited to be back in the US of A on Saturday. Yesterday, that was just yesterday. Did a big, huge Walmart order last night because it's much easier to do that than try to buy groceries in Montreal.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yes, Matthew's he's like our
tech support.
Our tech support tonight. So we're excited to be in Boston this week. I was going to say, we crossed our last border. So for those of you who have been curious about all of our border stuff, we've now crossed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4 times in and 4 times out. You've done 5 in, 5 out.
But all different borders. And so one of the things that we try to be intentional about doing over the last, over this section, not our June part, but is filming all of our border crossing stuff and kind of talking through some of it for those people that are curious. So
we really filmed it in hopes that something would go crazy, but
yeah, and we had
spoiler alert, we had super smooth
really
crossings.
Smooth. But I honestly think that because we did a little research and because we learned a little bit when we first in June, I don't know, we just have had super smooth border crossings, and so
we may get stopped by a security in just a second.
I don't think it's security.
Someone's coming into the parking lot, and they're going to wonder, what on earth are these people doing in the parking lot, making out or something? I don't know.
No, we're not doing that.
No.
But it's like a truck. They just zoomed by us. Anyway, maybe it's like the football coach or something.
Yeah.
So border crossing, if you're interested in seeing any of that, Kevin's going to be working on a YouTube video and putting that on our YouTube channel for those of you who are curious about all the border crossing stuff.
So another thing that was exciting about getting back into the U.S. was the gas price. So I never thought I would be excited to pay $4.25 a gallon for diesel, but I paid $6.25 just before we left Canada to get enough gas to get over the border.
Oh, that's a weird thing about Canada too, though,
so,
is the way they price out gas, right?
So they price their gas per liter, and it's cents per liter. So like the last time we paid, I think 219 cents for a liter. Well, there's 3.75 liters per gallon, and then you've got a 75-cent conversion rate. So when I did all the math, I was paying $6.25 a gallon roughly. And so that was not fun.
Yep, here comes another car. I feel like this whole entire thing, no, they're zooming by too. Maybe they're all going to lift weights or something. Anyway, we're quite the comedy show tonight. This week,
we apologize.
Yep, sorry for the chaos. So be in Boston this week. Our lights are about to go out again. Maybe we should just be in the dark. We will be in Boston this week. Then we've got a couple of in-between days where we're just going to hang in Connecticut. What?
Go ahead. We need to rewind just.
We're going to hang in Connecticut for a few days, and then we get into New York City at the middle of next week. So
lots coming up.
Yeah.
We had a super fun experience today. If you've been following along with us since the beginning, one of the very first stories that we had was of a couple in a foster care situation, and it's just been a roller coaster for a while. We were not able to attend church with them the first time we were here. The second time we were here.
Yeah, so for some of the people here in Boston, this is the third time we've seen them. So.
Yeah. So the last time we were here, we were supposed to go to church with this family, and Casey got COVID on Saturday. And so we were unable to go to church. Well, this time we were able to go to church with them. They just moved into a new building, so that was super cool to see their new facility, but to get to see their kids. So it's
been a big roller coaster.
It's been a roller coaster, but they're in the process of adopting the two kids that were in the process back then, but they've also gained a sibling of that group.
Anyway, it's been super cool just
Lighting 101
to follow along with their story, and it was awesome to get to be with them today. So we got to have church with them in their beautiful building that they're meeting in. There's lots of crazy stuff going on with this beautiful new building that they're hoping that they get to stay in. You can pray with us for that. And then we got to go to lunch with them at a little local place around the corner. And
all 13 of us.
Yeah, we went all 13.
It was a blast.
It was so fun. We were all one big circus together. And so it was so fun. Just really cool to be able to follow along. It's very humbling and a privilege to us to be able to follow along with people's stories and to see multiple chapters of their lives and how God's using them. And today was no different. So it was a great morning at church and lunch. And
if you happen to be watching and you haven't seen it yet, check out our Facebook page. There's an opportunity on there.
Yes, you can check on
to help with a need.
We also have a new. It'll be the beginning of the month. Yes, this time next week. It's the beginning of the month. How could we forget
Caroline's birthday in 1 week?
Yeah, and Caroline is counting down daily for us. Sometimes more than once daily.
For the last 8 weeks.
So anyway, it'll be newsletter time. So usually the first week of the month I do a new newsletter. So if that's something you don't receive, make sure you hop over to our website. Click join at the very top and put in your email address to make sure you get all those updates. Just leave them off.
I'm the light man. I'm getting the lights fixed.
Matthew's tech support and Kevin's the light guy.
So just a quick rewind. If you didn't join us at the beginning, we're in a parking lot because bad connections at the RV park. Teresa, I see your comment there. We did get the stove fixed. We talked about that a little while ago, and we are super pumped that got fixed. So
anyway, all right, we're going to leave y'all.
Yes, this has been
away from our circus.
Crazy enough.
We're going to make our exit now, take a bow and make our exit and say we will see you next week from somewhere in Connecticut. I can't even remember where.
Hopefully with better Wi-Fi. So.
Yes. Y'all have a great night.
Appreciate y'all joining us.
See you next week.